Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eid mubarak to everybody. May Allah accept your fasting. And if you like to have the full barakah of fasting, also 6 days in Shawwal, I would very much recommend for those of you who are fasting. So, fasting is one of the best medicines we can take on our physical body, but also on our emotional body, our spiritual body. And it is said about the fasting that the ego has no part on it. While you can very well understand it, if you tell somebody I'm meditating, for example, there's always a certain pride with it, isn't it? People love to say that they are meditating. It is something which increases your reputation. But fasting is something that is a kind of in a neutral zone. So we are using fasting in the way that we, for example, when we say we fast, we also try to control our impulses, like anger or other things, and we consciously just stop it. We just consciously hold it. We say it's not the moment, it's not the day, we are fasting. And it's also a sunnah to say to the other, that when someone gets angry on you, that you say, we are fasting, I'm fasting, so that the other may consider you are in a place where you don't want to react, where you don't want to fight. Then fasting is also the method how to overcome vices. First of all, envy, which is one of the central vices that we have, and the only one that has no opposite, no goodness, let's say, where there is in pride, in anger, in being better or whatever, there is always an opposite as well that has some benefits. That there is a good anger, there is a good pride, and there is not such a thing like a good envy. Yes. So the envy, it is said from the Prophet, it mentioned in many ways. That one is that he says, you are not a believer unless you wish for the other what you wish for yourself. And the envy has these aspects that we not only wish for the other what we do wish for ourselves, but we wish the bad, what we do not wish for ourselves, to the other. And these are the two facets of envy. And envy goes very, very, very deep. And this is why it is mentioned from the Prophet also that he said, you will not meet me as long as you are in envy. And we can say that has to do with the whole reality. You see, the one of the most used names in the Islamic world is the name Karim. As a name given to a man or a woman, it is a very popular name and very often used. And we say also, for example, when we congratulate each other for Ramadan, we don't say only Ramadan Mubarak, but we say Ramadan Karim. So this generosity is a really, really, really big aspect in the Sufi culture, in the Sufi tradition, not only on the point of hospitality, but very much on the point how we relate to others. And then, of course, seeing envy is something that we like to oppress, and the compensation of envy actually is greed. Yeah. When you don't want to see envy in yourself, you turn into greed. And when we can say one thing, then that compensation rules this world. You see, seeing envy is a very bitter pill for our idealized image that we have. But it is a necessary thing to look at it. It is, you can say, almost central. Because there is envy, which is connected with also the feeling, I'm not fairly treated, I'm not recognized, I'm not understood. All this has to do with this idea that the others have been given more, and unjustly I'm forgotten. Yeah, there's the victim in it as well. And this is so unfair that there comes rage out of it, there comes anger out of it, there comes desperation out of it, there comes depression out of it, right? So envy has to be seen. And it goes really deep in our system. Yeah. And if you don't do that, if we don't do that as a collective also, we compensate by greed. Yeah, we want to get more and more and more and more because we feel that it is the only way to compensate. This misunderstanding about my qualities, about my right to have everything first, And fasting is one thing that brings us to this point to be satisfied with what is, what we have, what is in this moment. And when you fast, the good aspect of fasting is that you see, you understand, you need much less than you thought. First of all, food. The way we eat usually is too much because we like to numb ourselves. So fasting shows us that we are actually having food habits that are more or less numbing habits. We want to numb ourselves. The same is with drinking. Yeah? Everyone will tell you that you need to drink glasses and glasses and glasses and glasses of water to be healthy, but the fasting shows you that there is also another way that your body can function. It's not that you don't drink at all during several days, but you will certainly drink less. And still, you don't have any kind of malfunctions or any kind of bad effects, the opposite. Yeah. Your body releases toxins, but not through the way out of the liquid of the kidneys, but it is more what we call the fire fasting. And the fire fasting goes very much through the skin. We release the toxins through the skin, so this is why it's good to take showers regular when the time of fasting. Besides that, we should usually take regular showers. So fasting is really an incredible good corrector of our vices in us and gives us clarity, gives us a very direct access towards our inner self. And that might be one of the reasons why it is commanded on us in the Sufi tradition, and the numerous positive effects it has that would fulfill not only just one video, but it is really an ongoing thing to speak about it. Yeah. So enjoy your days of 8, and if you feel inspired to try a day of fasting. If you are not in this habit, you will make a good thing for yourself. Thank you, and may Allah bless you, all your families, and gives you happiness in all aspects of your life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.